Hey folks, in this video today we are going to set a pineapple on fire. That's right, we're just going to set this thing on fire and eat it because it is delicious. This is a pretty simple recipe. Obviously we need a pineapple, we need some heavy cream, some butter, some brown sugar, and cinnamon. There's my little helper's hand holding the butter. And first off, we are going to chop off the bottom of the pineapple and just go ahead and peel off the side. Watch your little helper's finger so you don't cut off your kid's hand. That would not be good. But leave the crown on the pineapple. That's just going to be nice for presentation and give you a handle to hold when we have this thing on the grill. So basically, just cut off the edge. It cuts pretty easily. It's a little tricky here to go deep enough to get, I don't know what those little pits are called on the pineapple, but you want to cut those off. I never get them right on the first try. I don't want to go too deep, so I always have to go back and just trim it a little bit, but try not to go too deep or you're going to lose a lot of the pineapple flesh that we're trying to eventually eat here. And there's my little helper's hand again. Trying not to cut his fingers off. That would not be good, but just a little trimming here. Again, don't go too deep and you'll be just fine. Okay, next, we're going to cut some deep scores here. I would say you're going to put your knife in about 1.5 inches all the way to the core of the pineapple. Then in a second, after we go all the way around, we're going to twist it a quarter turn and do the same thing. It's going to make a little grid pattern. This takes a little bit of practice, I guess. You want to go deep, but not too deep. Twist your knife all the way to the core. You'll feel the knife get just a little bit into firmer pineapple flesh, and you just have to feel this. You can't go too deep and cut your pineapple in half. Don't do that. But with these scores, it's going to give us a lot of crusty stuff along the edges, and it's going to let the syrup get into the pineapple a lot better. Now we go ahead and wrap the crown with aluminum foil. That's going to keep it from catching on fire when it's on the grill. And then if you're doing this beforehand, I go ahead and put it in a Ziploc bag just to keep it fresh, so we can do this before the barbecue starts. And then while people are eating, I'll go ahead and throw that on the grill for dessert. Now look at that beautiful, beautiful pot there. I think it might actually be time for some new cookware. Anyway, start with a stick of butter and go ahead and melt that on low temperature just to get it started. We'll put some high heat to it later, but we do want to get the butter melted. And I just do this by feel, but about 1.5 cups, maybe even 2 cups of heavy cream. We're going to boil it out anyway, so don't be too worried about the exact measurements. And I use a full cup of brown sugar. Now, the original recipe for this came off of Barbecue University, off of PBS, and it calls for some bourbon as well. That's totally optional. I've done this with some pecan bourbon that I got years ago out of Opelika, Alabama, and it was absolutely delicious. But biggest thing is you want some cinnamon there. The bourbon is totally optional. Now, I did forget the citrus. You want to squirt a little bit of lime or lemon in there. This is more just to keep it from browning more than anything. It doesn't add a ton to the flavor, but go ahead and throw your pineapple on the grill and start basting. I like to keep the pot on the grill as well. This kind of handle I keep kind of off the edge, but this is just going to keep it warm, keep the butter melted, and allow you to baste it. We're eventually going to melt this down and create oh God, what would you call it? It's more of a liquid caramel at that point, but you'll see it towards the end of the video. So just keep basting your pineapple. Again, I typically do this while people are eating at my barbecues, and this is for dessert, but turn it a quarter turn, baste it about every 10 or 15 minutes, and eventually we get to set it on fire. All right, go ahead and turn up the flame to high heat and throw some vodka on it. I highly recommend you do not use any flammable clothing at this point, so your polyester gym shorts is probably not a good idea to be wearing, but this has kind of become a tradition at my barbecues for everybody to take a shot of vodka, and I use the cheapest vodka I possibly can find. Take a shot, throw it on the grill, it flares up, makes a beautiful, spectacular display. Everybody loves it. Don't catch anybody on fire. Don't even try or think about doing this inside. And what it does is all the sugars that you've been basting this pineapple with, it's going to caramelize very quickly. So you get that nice little crusty bit on the outside of the pineapple, and the inside is this cooked, delicious, yummy, yummy stuff. But don't feel the need. Don't use the good stuff. Don't use the good vodka. Setting the thing on fire, and realistically, you could probably do this with a torch if you really wanted to, but it's much more fun to set the pineapple on fire with vodka. Now, go back inside, and your glaze here, go ahead and turn that up on high heat, and we're going to boil this down to a caramel glaze. So it's time you can go ahead and get your cinnamon out. I like to use the sticks. I think it tastes better, but if you don't have the sticks of cinnamon, you can certainly have used ground cinnamon. Sticks are so much better, though. Okay, now while your glaze is boiling down, you can see it there in the background, we're going to go ahead and cut this, and watch how these chunks just fall off. That's just a nice presentation. So all these deep score marks let you do this, and you're just trimming it down. Trim everything off the core. Not much use for the core, but that's just a beautiful presentation with these burnt, caramelized ends of the pineapple. Everything's cooked nice and warm, and we're going to serve this over a bed of ice cream. So that's just pretty. It smells really good. There's our caramel that's just burned down. Now remember, this is going to thicken up as soon as it gets cold, so you don't want to boil it down to next to nothing, but there you kind of see the consistency of it. It's thick, but not too thick. It still drips. So when that's done, go ahead and kill the heat. Scoop up your pineapple and get ready to serve. Scoop up our ice cream. We're just going to take a little bit of pineapple, throw it on top, and then put some glaze on it. I have one friend that you have to watch for this. When I have people over, including her, I have to cook two of these. One for her and one for everybody else. But just spoon some glaze on top of that. And this is going to be a big hit. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's delicious. Hope you enjoy. And be sure to subscribe.